Elkhorn Center is an open-air shopping mall in Tucson, Arizona that opened in 1960. If you've clicked onto this video, then you know what today is. It's Monday, Mall Madness. Every Monday I'll be releasing a new video on a defunct or maybe not so defunct mall and its history. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the videos. I'd like to see if you, the viewer, are paying attention. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for my latest mall video, defunct store, occasional throwback Thursday, or soda history. Leave a suggestion about a future video or memories of this mall. Thanks. Hotel El Conquistador, a grand Spanish Revival structure, opened to much fanfare in November of 1928. It was situated on the western half of a 93-acre plot located 2.5 miles east of the center of Tucson. The development of the eastern half of the site commenced in April of 1959. Elkhorn Mall was Tucson's first mall. Born of necessity in 1960, Tucson didn't have a mall yet, and its population had grown over 368% between 1950 and 1960, from 45,000 residents to well over 200,000 residents. Developer Joseph Kivel decided the best spot for the mall was in Midtown Tucson, in the middle of the growth, next to the storied posh El Conquistador Hotel. The original plan for Elkhorn was to incorporate the hotel into the retail site. When the mall opened on November 16, 1960, it was initially outdoor and anchored by a two-level, 60,000 square foot Levy's department store, which moved from downtown Tucson, as well as a two-level, 180,000 square foot Montgomery Ward. Woolworth and Skaggs Drug were mini anchors, and the mall parking area had space for 3,000 cars. 7 inline stores were launched on August 24, 1961. These were House of Fabrics, Gallenkamp Shoes, Lerner's Shops, Kinney Shoes, El Rancho Market Grocery, an FW Woolworths, and a 27,000 square foot SS Kresge. 9 stores opened their doors on November 2, 1961, including Baker's Qualicraft Shoes, The College Shop, Daniels Jewelers, Grunwald and Adams Jewelers, Mills Touch Menswear, Nuart Photo Service, Skaggs Drug Center, and Wolfiler Shoes. Elkhorn Center now featured 19 stores and services. When fully leased, the mall would house 42. The El Conquistador Hotel closed in 1964 and met the fate of the Wrecking Ball in 1967. The hotel was replaced with a much larger two-level 193,000 square foot Levy's store, which opened on September 15, 1969, and was expanded with a third level to 290,000 square feet in 1975. The original Levy's store in the neighboring open-air center reopened as a Tucson-based Steinfeld's on March 27, 1971. Meanwhile, a single-level, fully enclosed mall was being built, which would be anchored by a two-level, 115,000 square foot JCPenney. This store was dedicated on August 4, 1971, with its freestanding Penny's Auto Center opening for business on August 23rd. This new West Mall encompassed approximately 480,000 leasable square feet. Its first inline store, Florsheim Shoes, began business in February of 1974. The First National Bank relocated into the West Mall in May. Elkhorn Mall also had a Farrell's ice cream parlor, which welcomed its first customers in July of 1973. In January of 1975, Bob Hope made an appearance by autographing copies of the Last Christmas shows at Levy's. That same year, a new mall, Park Place, opened 3 miles to the east of Elkhorn along Broadway Boulevard. The original 1960s-era outdoor mall with Wards and Steinfelds still existed separate of the newer enclosed mall, and the two operated side by side until 1978, when they were sewn together. And a two-level, 120,000 square foot Phoenix-based Goldwater's was added. The older outdoor mall was also enclosed at that time, and for the first time, the two separate malls were a seamless 1 million square foot L-shaped entity. As a new section was being built, the existing East Mall was enclosed and climate controlled. The amalgamated mall, which encompassed approximately 1,023,000 leasable square feet, held its grand opening on January 27, 1979. Among the 124 stores and services were United Jewelers and Distributors, Showcase Cards, Wicks and Sticks, T-shirts, etc., Musicland, B. Dalton Bookseller, and Morrow's Nut House. The TM Theater's Elkhorn 6 showed its first features on August 19, 1979. By 1980, Tucson had 330,000 people, and only these two malls, which anchored both ends of the Broadway retail corridor. In 1982, two competing malls opened up. The Tucson Mall opened for business in March, and the Foothills Mall opened in August of the same year. On August 26, 1984, Steinfeld's closed. Its space was to sit vacant, being used on an intermittent basis as a holiday sharing center for the needy. In September of 1985, Levy's closed. It reopened and rebranded as a Sanger Harris. In September of 1986, Goldwater's closed. It reopened as a Dillard's. In July of 1987, Sanger Harris closed. It would reopen as Foley's. In 1990, Tucson had over 400,000 residents, and the growth continued to keep the retail scene active at all of the malls. On February 2nd, 1997, Foley's closed. It reopened as a Robinson's May. Throughout the rest of the 1990s, the mall entered into a downward spiral. The entire Steinfeld's wing of the mall, along with the Elkhorn 6 movie theater, was torn down in 1998, making room for a new Home Depot store, which debuted in 2001 through the mall access. A 20-screen Century movie theater was added to replace the Elkhorn 6 in 1999, and a new food court debuted near the theater's entrance in 2001 to 2002. But the food court was an instant failure, never once gaining a tenant. On May 9, 2000, Dillard's closed. On March 18, 2001, Montgomery Ward at the Elkhorn Mall closed. Its store was demolished to make way for a new Target, which opened in 2005. On September 9, 2006, Robinson's May closed. It would reopen as Macy's. But in January of 2008, Macy's closed. In 2008, a Ross store opened in the Macy's wing, reclaiming some dead store space. But by June of 2010, the interior corridor of Elkhorn Mall contained only 2 stores, other than the anchor, and a poster shop and a barber. Plans for the mall was to revert it back to an open air, but with lagging economy at the time, no work had been done. Walmart wanted to open a store in the old Macy's location, but it was met by opposition. The city of Tucson met with Walmart behind closed doors and formulated a way to work around the big box ordinance. A development plan was approved by the city of Tucson in June of 2011, but construction was delayed by a lawsuit filed by the Stop Walmart Citizens Group in November of 2011. In the meantime, the owners of the property worked to reposition the shopping complex. Outparcel structures were also built along the front of the site, including a Office Depot, Rubio's Fresh Mexican Grill, Chick-fil-A, and an In-N-Out Burger. The Goldwater's Dillard's building, sitting vacant since 2000, became a Burlington coat factory, who renovated the building and opened a store on its first level on March 5, 2010. All of the legal hurdles for the construction of the Elkhorn Walmart were resolved in August of 2012. Work on the single-level 100,000 square foot supercenter began in the fall of 2012, with its grand opening taking place on September 11, 2013. The oldest mall in Tucson, the Elkhorn Mall, as it was known since its opening in 1960, was renamed the Elkhorn Center in May of 2014 at the time of its sale for $81.7 million to Stan Kroenke, owner of the Arsenal FC and the LA Rams. Marshall's joined the retail roster with a store on August 20th, 2015. In late 2020, JCPenney closed. It was an Elkhorn tenant since 1971. Today, the shopping center is anchored by Cinemark Theaters, Target, the Home Depot, Walmart, Ross, Burlington, and Marshalls. Congratulations, you made it this far into the video.
When I find you.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
So let's see how close you were paying attention to my video. So how many anchor stores closed in this mall? So if your answer is, this may be a new record, 10, give yourself a hand. You were paying attention. Thanks for watching. So what do you remember about this mall? Leave a comment or some more details that I may have missed, or maybe even a suggestion for a future mall video you would like to see. Don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions. Thanks for watching.